Good afternoon. Welcome to 94.9 32 FM. This is Scoreboard Reloaded. I am Peter Omo. I've got alongside on the show SAMIES and DOLAPO. Together, we'll take a look at all the headlines from the world of sports. Some big, some not too big, but they got us talking. So we're talking about the Ballon d'Or later tonight in France. Who is going to win the Ballon d'Or this year? That's the question on the lips of everyone, from this part to Europe and of course to Asia. We'll find out who the winner will be later tonight in France. And then we'll take a look at some of the big story in the world of sport over the weekend, from the World Championship in Tokyo, talking about athletics now, to Formula One in Baku, Azerbaijan, and then to football, home and away from home, the MPFL, Continental Game, and of course, a bit of stories around some of the talking points in the world of football. We'll see how far we can go. Welcome one more time. I've got SAMIES and DOLAPO, like I said. Let's start with the Ballon d'Or later tonight. It's all about who's going to win and take this off. Rodrigo, who won last year, the Manchester City, the Spain international, is not even part of the short list in terms of the 5 shortlisted for the Ballon d'Or this year. Not even Vinicius Jr. was close to winning it last year. So Vinicius, I remember what he said last year. He said he's going to do it times 10. And if you take a look at where he is at the moment, you find out that really that 2 times 10 or 1 times 10 is actually happening to the Brazilian international. So let's talk about the 5 who one might likely win tonight. But everyone seems to be talking about maybe not the 5, maybe just 2 or 3. I'll also be asking DOLAPO and SAMIES, who was that player that they expected to win? They expected him to win the Ballon d'Or, and a couple of years ago did not win. Or one player you said you wish to take this back, you want to give it to him. They will let me know their thoughts. So, Ousmane Dembele, Paris Saint-Germain, France International, Lamine Yamal won the Euros with Spain, won the La Liga with Spain. He didn't score up to 10 goals. Yeah, he's also a champion. Rafinha also, a boy who at the point in time he thought was going to leave Barca until Hansi Flick came on board and said, let's keep him and let's see what he will do. And of course, we saw what he did in 24-25 football season with Barca. But that he didn't repeat with the Seleção of Brazil because they struggled to qualify for the World Cup. His name also is in there. Mo Salah, he keeps getting the goals, over 20 goals in the last, 5, 6 seasons in the Premier League. His name also popped up. He's helping Egypt looking like and almost likely they'll qualify for the World Cup. He won the league with Liverpool last season. His name also in the running. Ousmane Dembele won the Pichichi in Spain, also won the Golden Boot in Europe in terms of the player who scored the most goals in European club football for 24-25. He didn't help France enough to win the Euro Nations League or even win the European Championship. He's also in it for tonight in terms of the Ballon d'Or winner. So let's get talking. SAMIES, it's good to have you joining me on the show. Let's hit the ground running. The Ballon d'Or will be going later tonight. Not just them, also we'll have the other awards that will be going, but we know that for the men, that will be the talking point. We'll also find out who the woman player of the year will also be. SAMIES, it's a pleasure having you joining me on the show. Let's hit the ground running. Lamine Yamal, Dembele, who else again comes to your mind?
Good afternoon, Peter. Good afternoon, DOLAPO, and also to the general populace who definitely has joined us on today's edition of the show. But as regards the biggest football award, that's the Ballon d'Or. I would say for Lamine Yamal, you have Ousmane Dembele. Well, another player who should actually be in contention is look at Mohamed Salah, just like you've rightly said. He's also one of those players you can actually pinpoint and say he's deserving to be maybe in the top 3, top 5. That's one thing I really want to look at. But, we can't take anything away from most of the Paris Saint-Germain players as well, what they achieved in the course of the 2024-2025 football season. Winning the treble, the domestic treble, the UEFA Champions League, the league, and also their domestic cup game. They won that. Just one trophy eluded them last season, and that was the newly established FIFA Club World Cup, where they lost in the finals. And with that, you can also tell that their stretch getting into the finals also shows that they are actually a good team. And the players also, Achraf Hakimi, yes, I don't want to forget that. He's also one of those players you can actually pinpoint also and say he's deserving to be in the top 5. That's talking about Achraf Hakimi. But one man also, we'll talk about defenders. I think he has been the defenders of defenders in the 2024-2025 season, and also crossing into this season. His name is Nuno Mendes. I think he did quite a good job with the selection shields of Portugal, and also for the Parisians, winning the UEFA Nations League, winning all the trophies available also except the FIFA Club World Cup for Paris Saint-Germain. And he said that he actually performed well against the world best right wingers that attacked him. When we talk about doing his defensive shift, he also got a few goals. So you say that he's also maybe in contention to be in the top 5.
All right, so at the point in time, I'm going to ask these guys to make that bold statement. For now, they're just trying to analyze all of this. DOLAPO, it's a pleasure having you on the show with us. SAMIES spoke about Mo Salah, and if Mo Salah doesn't win, what happened in terms of the CAF award that will be happening in the next few months. But there's a game tonight, and that game might be like a distraction. Olympique Marseille play against Paris Saint-Germain, and you'll probably be saying, where will the Parisians, where will the players be? The players cannot go when they have a football match and then go to an award. But maybe for Dembele, who's out injured, maybe he can find his way there. Maybe something that's well prepared for them. And I also felt that why not move the Olympique Marseille game to sometime in the week or postpone for the time being, because this is big happening in France, and you want to divide attention among the French people, because we know how big this game is. Olympique Marseille against Paris Saint-Germain in the south of France, but the party we know for the award will be in Paris.
Good afternoon, Peter, SAMIES, and everyone who has joined us on the show. Well, I think the Parisians should have, according to reports from France, there were talks of Paris Saint-Germain wanted them to put the game in the afternoon, in the early hours of today, maybe around 2 or 3 p.m. this afternoon. But then the French football are not allowing that. They want it to be played at night, which I'm not really understanding. I don't want that game to come up at night. It shouldn't be at the same time with the Ballon d'Or going on at the same time. It does not really make a whole lot of sense to me, because when you look at this very well, you feel like a whole lot of Paris Saint-Germain players should be winning awards tonight. A whole lot of them should be in the top 11 and they should be on the podium, so they shouldn't be on the field of play playing against Marseille. It's a big game, I understand, but it can be shifted to Tuesday or played early hours today, and then they go for the awards later at night. But then they've planted it and they said they want it at night, the same time with the Ballon d'Or. Good for them. It's not really that. In France, the attention will be majorly on the Ballon d'Or. And I kept on saying something to myself. If it was that Ousmane Dembele is fit to play that game, he won't be on the pitch of play. He will be where he would be receiving his award, or he would be there because I feel like he would win the award, so he would be there. But now he won't be there. He will be there because he's out injured. Sorry, Doué as well will be there because he's out injured. A whole lot of players is out injured. But the likes of Hakimi, Nuno Mendes, this is not really good enough from French football. They are the association of the ones in charge of football in France. They are not doing a good job for me with the way they've made this thing go. But then when you look at the award going on tonight, a whole lot of things I want to see, because in Spain, they've been talks of they want Lamine Yamal to win it. There are talks of Mo Salah in England as well. And in Africa, some part of Africa wants Mo Salah to be in the top 3. Some part of people in the Africa want Hakimi to even be in the top 3 or top 5, like SAMIES mentioned. So it will be very interesting to see. And I think for the first time maybe in the last 3 or 4 years, we don't really have a clue on who is going to win it, because it is still by this time last year we all knew, okay, it is going to Rodri, although at some point in time that last year there were talks of it's Vinicius Junior. All of a sudden later on in the evening around 3-4 p.m. there were talks of Rodri would win it, and then the people from Madrid are saying they won't be going there and all of that. So but now there's no clue. Everybody is feeling like we want to go there. I've seen videos of 𝐾𝐈𝐒 and many players just getting their way to France. It will be very interesting to see 8 p.m. tonight.
Interesting to see how that attention will be divided among the French people. Some will be saying the Marseille Paris Saint-Germain game is not what we joke with. Yes, I also know that the Ballon d'Or also calls for attention. All of these we'll wait to see.
But just to weigh in, it's going to be a shame where we won't see Paris Saint-Germain players, even their coach.
Yeah, because he should be winning the award.
Should win the coach of the year. He's not going to be.
Because I also know one of the things you also get to see is the composition of the 11. The best 11. So if you have the Paris Saint-Germain having 3-4 players,
they should have 6.
Donnarumma should come flying from Manchester.
Yeah. So you look at it, it's also a game where they would want to open a 3-point lead at the top of the that's Ligue 1 standings, because they have 12 points presently alongside Monaco, Lyon and Strasbourg. So they want to open a 3-point advantage, and that's why they have to take the game against Marseille, which of course is a derby. They have to take the game as so serious. So it's just quite going to be a shame where we won't see the Parisians, and also not only the Parisians, the Madrid stars also. They won't be present there at the gala later tonight. They
have a game coming up on Tuesday. They say they don't have business here. That's the way they don't. They say they don't have business. The other time they had the Ballon d'Or. But quickly here, for Marcel and the old bragging right will stop now. Marcel always, come with this banter around Paris Saint-Germain to say you've never won the UEFA Champions League. They have. Even though when they won, then there was a bit of controversy around the team when they won the Champions League. But now the PSG side can say we're coming to this tie with the ever Champions League on our table. But quickly here, SAMIES, who do you think will win tonight without any long or short analysis? Where is this one going? Going to stay in France or go to Spain?
The Ballon d'Or?
Yeah. Because there are news around, some saying there might be a shocker tonight. I'm saying there might be an upset tonight. So when you say it's an upset, where is this upset? Is it for Kopama to win or for Declan Rice to win?
That would be a shocker. That would be upset because the major milestone all of these guys are on the short list that they attained with their club side. Maybe not the best, and you actually pick out the standout performance from all of these club sides and the players.
What are the criteria you'll be looking at?
Well, last season when Rodri won, we looked at his influence within Manchester City and the La Rojas of Spain.
Yeah.
He's available, they don't lose a game.
Okay.
Right? He gets some of the dogged wins as well. But you look at the shift, Ousmane Dembele, I don't think he has ever played 40 games at a stretch before in his career, but he was available to do that last season, which also proves that he has something to offer, and he did that last season. For over Dembele, 20 goals and 20 assists.
For Dembele, everything does change in the last 4 months.
Yes, since January.
Yeah,
yes, I'll put it that.
Yeah,
since Kvaratskhelia came in, everything changed.
Everything changed January. I know he was this guy with disciplinary issues with the coach, but he put his mind, his heart to a cause, and that has paid off. So if he wins the award, that is good for him. His dedication to the game for that 6 months has paid off, and which is something he should do naturally in his game. But you talk about other stars. For Lamine Yamal, yes, I know there's that hype. He's a young star. He won the Copa Trophy last year, the Young Player of the Year. Yeah. He won it last year. This year, of course, he has improved his game. We've seen him decide the course of some games, win the Spanish La Liga and also for FC Barcelona. But what has really been his contribution? Does he have the figures, the numbers as Ousmane Dembele? Is he having the numbers as Mohamed Salah?
But wait, you
mentioned... Is he having the numbers than Achraf Hakimi?
Hold on, SAMIES. Because earlier you mentioned influence.
Yes.
This is you talking about numbers. How about the influence?
Influence. See, Jamal in a game, they will still lose. But you see, Ousmane Dembele was on a different level. He was on a different level. All respect to Lamine Yamal. He did his bit.
So what you're saying in all of this, you're putting out there is that Dembele to win.
Well, all I'm saying, Dembele to win. And that is one thing I want to see.
DOLAPO.
Well, I think it's both of them. It's either Lamine Yamal winning, who had 43 goals contribution
but
last
season. But are we going to write off Achraf Hakimi as well? No.
I think from the 5 shortlists I have that I've seen, it's not even there.
For me, it should be there. It should be in the top 5. Well, for me, I feel like
you know that one of the things that we look at in football is the goals.
Yes,
that's why we
have
said that
you scored the goals from the defense. From the defense.
Yeah, I know. I get. That's why some of us have said. When will the goalkeeper ever win the Ballon d'Or?
I don't think there would be.
When will a defender ever come close to winning? Maybe Achraf Hakimi now, like you said.
There was a defender in the time past.
No, I'm not saying they've never won it before. Okay. But going forward now, I don't think. I'm not sure. But based on what we have now, Hakimi in the top 5. I don't know.
I think so.
I have my reservation.
I feel Ousmane Dembele would win. Lamine Yamal will finish second. I feel so. And I feel Rafinha will finish third. I don't know why. Mo Salah fourth. Achraf Hakimi fifth. Achraf Hakimi fourth. Mo Salah fifth. I'm saying it in that line.
If Salah comes fourth, that means he has a chance to win the African Player of the Year.
Hakimi is the African player. It's not cast in stone.
Which one is not cast? Because if Salah is finishing ahead of Achraf Hakimi in the Ballon d'Or, then you want to say
I don't think so. I don't think
African Player of the Year.
It does not come that way in the African Player of the Year because when
don't you think that also can probably matter?
I don't think so. Yeah, it has mattered over the last 2 years because Victor Osimhen being in the top 20 of the Ballon d'Or was one of the
reasons
why yes.
And there's Ademola Lookman
as well.
And we'll say what happened. 11. So that's why I'm saying this.
He finished ahead of Achraf Hakimi last year on the Ballon d'Or ranking was one of those things that pushed it.
So if you also have that, I feel
like Achraf Hakimi should be 4th or 5th. When you look at it very well, from February down to the end of the season, Mo Salah lost his form. From February to the end of the season, it was not the Mo Salah that started the season.
Okay.
But then his year is in this mix because of what he did at the start of the season and Liverpool winning the league.
You know, I just have this feeling like you can start badly and finish well, and then you get into this point. Because
now,
I mentioned the other time
Ousmane Dembele started badly
and he finished
very well, and now he's looking like a favourite.
Okay, so whoever thought that a certain Mbappe will not win the Ballon d'Or before Ousmane Dembele, but it is what it is. So there you have it. So quickly,
anything can still happen.
if it doesn't win tonight, that's what you say. You have believed that Dembele will win the Ballon d'Or ahead of Vinicius Junior. So, like I said, it is what it is. But before we wrap up this Ballon d'Or thing,
need to believe. I'm sorry for butting here. People need to believe because I have seen lots of conversations saying some players are one season wonder. Excuse me, players are not one season wonder. They've been putting in the hard work. Just that Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi were way
They made them look.
okay. So that's where I'm going now. I said we're going to close the Ballon d'Or with this. So, SAMIES, who do you think that if you have the chance of giving the Ballon d'Or now, you probably want to turn back the hands of time? Who would that be?
Thierry Henry, without doubt.
DOLAPO.
As great as he was.
Henry and Neymar Jr. Those two. Henry and Neymar.
But then for 2020, it was just so unfair.
Yeah,
You
to
have strike it
Lewandowski.
out.
Lewandowski as well.
Lewandowski.
No, we can go on with the names of those
A
who
whole lot of
didn't win.
Eden Hazard.
Wesley Sneijder.
Andre Iniesta. A
Luis
whole lot
Suarez.
of them. A whole lot.
And it's bad that none of you even call 𝐃𝐈𝐒.
No. It was never on that level. It was
Look at
never,
it.
it was never on that level.
That has
Look
been a
at-
joke.
Look at it. Even from Kenny, like in
loud,
the
huh?
whiny. Okay. Let's wrap up in the next 10 minutes with all that happened over the weekend. SAMIES, athletics, Formula One. Let's start with that.
Well, in the world of Formula One, it was just so great. I remember I had a band. I had a band.
Great to that.
I was going to say,
I had a band
Yeah.
with a colleague, Toby,
Yeah.
he was saying that he wishes that the McLaren drivers have at least 3 do not finish races until the end of the season. I said, is that possible? And lo and behold, yesterday, there was a do not finish or did not finish.
One
in
finished.
the Azerbaijan Grand Prix, but one finished. He finished 7th.
It started 7th and finished 7th.
Seventh. So
and
for Max Verstappen, yes, what a drive for him at the that's Azerbaijan Grand Prix. He did so well from start to finish. He did all well for himself. But I was just surprised that with the level of performance from George Russell, finishing 2nd. I think that was great also from George Russell.
Carlo.
And as it is in the world of Formula One, with the remaining races till the end of the season, well, the drivers that's talking about the drivers standings is might take a different toll.
Yeah, because of that win.
Well, I don't think so.
Back to back.
I don't
Yes,
think
back to
so because with 7 races to go, Max Verstappen is still 69 points behind Oscar Piastri. And you look at this very well. This is Oscar Piastri's first mistake this season, as far as I'm concerned. He's making a mistake for the first time, unlike Lando Norris, who keeps on making mistakes every week. So I feel like Oscar Piastri will be back with 7 races to go. He's 25 points behind ahead of Lando Norris and 69 ahead of Max Verstappen. He won't go like the way it ended in Baku. Yeah, Formula One is known for drama. It can just happen again in Singapore next week and something special happen. But with the way things are, Max Verstappen will feel like, because I was listening to the McLaren team principal saying Verstappen is now a threat to them, and it is looking like that because for someone who has won the last 3 or 4 drivers championship, you would fear him. But with the way things are, it is still in McLaren's hand, and I feel like they just have to push Oscar Piastri now. They have to stop allowing both drivers do their thing. They should push Oscar Piastri now and make him look like the first driver of this season. He's the one that looks like someone that can win it, because yesterday after Oscar Piastri had that issue in the first round, Lando Norris should be the one with the car he has to step up. But he couldn't. He started 7th with the qualifiers and still end 7th. That's not good enough.
But
Okay.
if you talk about one man, I think Max Verstappen has been in this position for the last 3-4 seasons, where he knows how to race till the tail end of the season. Last season, it was not the best 3-7 races for him in the mid-season, but in the last few races, he actually did so well to win his 4th driver's title. And here he is again, needing at least 5 victories.
But you look at it that last season, it was Lando Norris that caused it.
Okay. So one man has been told, you know what, you just have to move on. Christian Horner has finally left Red Bull after agreeing a severance deal following his sacking as team principal in July. That happened a few months ago. Remember, that was one of the biggest news in Formula One this year. Red Bull's statement announcing his departure did not give any figures, but a source close to Red Bull told BBC Sport that Horner has received a payoff of 60 million euros, about 52 million British pounds, which would be one of the biggest payouts in sport history. The 51-year-old was in charge of Formula One team since the inception in 2005, leading them to 8 drivers' championship and 6 constructors' championship title. He had a salary of 12 million euros, about 10 million pounds a year, and a contract till 2030. SAMIES, quickly, athletics is done for me for Africa. It's all about Botswana.
all about Botswana, but Kenya finished with 11 medals.
Yeah, but for them
But
to
you
win
talk
the 4x400,
I really would be proud of being the first African side.
that was a close race yesterday. When I thought that the Americans were cruising.
People would know. Leslie Tebogo ran the 4x400.
Yeah, I saw him do the 4x400.
He did that at the Olympics as well. Let's not forget, because Botswana.
So it's not just a man of 100 or 200. He can also do the 400
or 200. And maybe he was just driven that. He was disqualified from, or he hasn't won any medal at the World Athletics Championship. 100 meters he was disqualified. 200 meters he finished fourth. But that was one thing for him to actually do. And he did so well in the third lap, and that was a great one for him. South Africa finished second as well, and then he said that it was actually a good run from this African side. And like I said this morning, for Nigeria, we keep watching.
Right. No, for the fact that we got silver.
We got silver. We didn't get anything in the Olympics.
I didn't even expect that.
We didn't get anything in the Olympics. So
I didn't even
Look at the
expect
likes of Kenya.
No, don't look at anybody.
See,
Don't look at anybody.
You look at. I know.
See,
when
we put this on Kenya yesterday, I also watched the 5,000 now. The American won.
And that's Bell. I want to be so sure of her name, yeah.
But an American won the long distance, and that is unusual.
Yeah, it's unusual. We saw them. I was not surprised, though. I'm not surprised because I saw a few Americans win the long distance race at the Olympics there in Paris. But then I would say that for Africa, for Nigeria, it's this World Athletics Championship. Actually, it's a good one for them, and we need to actually get better in our athletics, so we won't be a pushover when it comes to the athletics championship or anything that has to do with track and field events. But I was just not maybe more happy for Shelly Ann for surprise after over 18 years of active service. The pocket rocket, I call her, she won her first medal there in Tokyo and her last medal also in Tokyo, winning the relay 4x100 meters for that's the Jamaican team. What a good one for her, and also the rest of the quartets that were involved in the 4x100.
Okay, so let's wrap up in the next 5 minutes with some football news. The Premier League, maybe got most people talking, starting with the Manchester game against Chelsea, and then the big one at the Emirates Arsenal against Manchester City. But quickly, Sammie's in 10, 20 seconds. Nigerian club side had a fair over the weekend on the continent.
Mixed emotions, mixed feelings for the African sides that were involved in CAF competitions. 1 win, 2 draws, and 1 defeat. For Remo Stars, they were the biggest winners, of course. So we can see there in the next round.
Is there hope in the coming days for 4 of them to proceed to the next stage?
In the coming days, well, maybe for those sides that were.
Remo Stars have a big advantage of moving on.
Yeah,
how about Rivers, who got
Rivers
got a
had
draw?
a good point as well. Went the draw. And I feel like Kwara United also losing 4-3. That third goal is very crucial for them. They come home, getting 4-3 away from home. If you are coming home, you still have a chance. Just have it in your mind.
I can't
go out
forget Enyimba's season
in
when
Abeokuta.
they came back to Nigeria to play 4-4. Which don't
Well,
break out.
I remember we are talking about. But I
Maybe
feel like Kwara
the only
United
thing
has
with
a
in a
chance.
difficult situation is Abia Warriors.
Yes, you don't play
Yeah,
at home and play
Against
1-1 at
Joliba
home.
Mali.
No.
Bamako. All right, so let's wrap up. Still, your thoughts about European football?
Well, over the weekend, it was very interesting to see a whole lot of interesting things happen. But the most interesting one for me was the Premier League game yesterday, Arsenal against Manchester City. I have never, since I've been watching football, seen Pep Guardiola play that way. Pep Guardiola was packing the balls. He removed Erling Haaland, brought in Nathan Ake, brought in Nico Gonzalez in a game against Mikel Arteta. No, I didn't expect to see that from Pep Guardiola. But then you can just feel like Pep is now tweaking things because over the last few years, you won't see him use a goalkeeper like Gigi Donnarumma. He's now his first choice goalkeeper. And he's trying to play to Donnarumma's style. He's trying to play with Donnarumma and Haaland's long ball and all of that. But that was the most interesting game over the weekend for me. And Eder Militao's goal in the La Liga as well. That goal was very good to see.
All right, Samis.
I look at DOLAPO mention the game between Arsenal and Manchester City being his best game of the weekend. Well, will I say there was no really an interesting game in the English Premier League because for Chelsea, Manchester United,
So
that
where
was
was
not a good game for neutrals.
So-
Maybe fans of either sides would be happy if the result had gone their way, but for neutrals, it was just a drab game of football.
Which game?
Manchester United against Chelsea Football Club. That ended 2-1 in favor of the Red Devils.
Okay.
And what I'm hoping for now is Manchester United, can they get a back-to-back victory in their next game?
No.
That is not that is something we actually cross our fingers because they are out of the cup game. That's the Carabao Cup.
So they have time to
which
rest.
Is set to go down this week.
Yeah.
But they have time to rest before their next Premier League action, which definitely would be against
Brentford. That's a
Yes.
lunchtime kickoff on Saturday.
Yes, against the Brentford.
Okay. So the NFF they've released a statement in the last few minutes talking about the 2026 FIFA Under 20 Women's World Cup. The Falconets won away from home a goal to nil. They were back in Ibadan now, where they'll be playing the return leg. Alabiolani struck in the 20th minute left of that game, about 70 minutes of that game, to secure a win for the girls. They're back home, and of course Ibadan this weekend is where they'll be playing the game against Rwanda for a place for the World Cup in 2026. That's the much we can take on the show this Monday afternoon, but we'll be back again Tuesday morning 7:40 for Scoreboard.